Tja, der Ladebalken ist wunderschön. Und was denkt mein einziger Zuschauer damit? Welche Zusammenhänge gibt es? Und ah,
What
Linda
can I do
geklopft.
for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private
Jo,
detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is
alte Witwe.
precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
Our paths crossed, briefly. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
Interessante Bilder.
May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
What happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course. Thank you for your kind words. Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my mind. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
Mrs. Sanders, I understand your grief, and I extend my deepest condolences to you. But I had nothing to do with the death of your husband. I've just arrived on Darkwater. I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
The death of the Hawkins family? You mean it was not an accident? This accursed island knows only tragedy after tragedy. You too would be advised to flee it like the plague. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
I deduce that your husband already mentioned this dimensional shambler.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it, I would urge you to make the most of your visit. Because I count on ridding myself of that thing as soon as I can.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long. The day the shambler came into the Sanders' lives. Did she really care for him after all?
Rekonstruktion.
Frances Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even? A house of artists. A house of artists. Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom?
Oh, dieses... Ja, danke.
He didn't want Sanders to have the painting. She must have felt devastated. Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins? The shambler. I need to see it.
Was zur Hölle? Oh, die tut mir schon irgendwie leid, ne? Okay. Interessant. Ich muss den Schlürfer untersuchen. Schlürf, schlürf. Oh ne, die will ich nicht. Das sieht ja auch aus, ne? Sie sind ja echt wahre Liebe, ne? Wahre Liebe, ne? Und dafür... Das war doch noch gerade blöd.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take anymore. I can't hold him back. forgive me?
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Ah, schade. Schlaucht es uns wieder. Ah.
An old diary. Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing. I could use one of those.
Der Wal und der Dorsch. Okay. Ich glaube, jetzt habe ich irgendwas aktiviert.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes.
I've got a lot of...
Some can be. What have you come?
Mit der will ich doch gar nicht.
Another painting by Sarah Hawkins. One connected to the horrors I've
Na, aber
discovered
halt.
on
Ich
this
wollte die
island.
Schatulle noch.
What a surprise. I'm listening.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times. These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Okay. Sehr schick. Eine Zunge. Oh, da ist es. Krass.
The public entrance to the gallery.
Schön. Öl. Ich benutze doch eh nur mein Feuerzeug.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Vielleicht um irgendwas zu töten. Ich kann mich hier verstecken, das gefällt mir nicht.
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Okay. Noch mehr Öl.
What the hell was that? I can't even touch it.
Oh, es hat mich. Okay. Dann nutzen wir das Ganze mal für eine Pause. Dann bis später vielleicht. Ade.